Good evening, Nigeria. And we have some truly shocking developments coming out of the presidential villa today that have sent ripples through the entire nation. Fatima Buhari, daughter of former President Muhammadu Buhari, has made a stunning revelation that has left many Nigerians asking serious questions about what exactly transpired during her father's time in office. She claims to have discovered documents bearing forged signatures of her father. And this is not just any random accusation. This is coming from his own daughter, someone who would have intimate knowledge of how her father signs documents and conducts his affairs. Now, let me paint the picture for you so you understand the gravity of what we are dealing with here. Fatima Buhari came forward with these allegations, stating that she found official documents that were supposed to have been signed by her father, but the signatures on them were clearly not his. Think about what this means for a moment. We are talking about a former president, someone who held the highest office in the land for 8 years, and now his own daughter is saying that documents were being signed in his name without his knowledge or consent. This raises some very disturbing questions about who was really running things during that administration and what other decisions might have been made without the former president's actual authorization. The timing of this revelation is particularly interesting because it comes at a moment when Nigerians are already questioning so many things about previous administrations and demanding more transparency and accountability from their leaders. Fatima's decision to speak out publicly about this matter shows tremendous courage because she is essentially calling into question the integrity of an administration led by her own father, though it appears she is trying to protect his legacy by suggesting he may have been unaware of these forgeries. According to the information that has emerged today, Fatima discovered these documents and immediately recognized that something was wrong with the signatures. Anyone who has ever seen their parent's signature multiple times would know it like the back of their hand, and she was certain that what she was looking at was not authentic. The implications of this are staggering because if signatures were being forged on official government documents, we need to know what those documents were authorizing, who was behind the forgeries, and how deep this rabbit hole actually goes. Now, some people might ask why this is only coming to light now, years after Buhari left office, and that is a fair question. Sometimes these things take time to surface, especially when you are talking about matters that occurred within the inner circles of power. Documents get filed away, things get overlooked, and it is often only with the benefit of hindsight and distance that people feel safe enough to come forward with information that might have been dangerous to reveal while the administration was still in power. If you are enjoying this discussion and want to stay updated on all the latest developments in Nigerian politics and news, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. The bigger conversation here is about the culture of governance in Nigeria and how easy it has been for people in positions of trust to abuse that trust without consequences. If what Fatima is saying is true, and there is no reason to doubt her given that she has everything to lose and nothing to gain from making false accusations about her own father, then we need a full investigation into who had access to these documents, who benefited from whatever those documents authorized, and whether there are other documents out there with forged signatures that we do not even know about yet. This also speaks to the issue of presidential health and transparency that was such a hot topic during the Buhari years. Many Nigerians expressed concern when the former president spent extended periods receiving medical treatment abroad, and there were always questions about who was making decisions in his absence. While the administration maintained that everything was being handled properly through the constitutional process of transferring power to the vice president when necessary, these new allegations about forged signatures make people wonder if there were other instances where things were not being handled as transparently as the public was led to believe. What makes this story even more compelling is that it is coming from within the family itself. This is not an opposition politician trying to score points or a disgruntled former aide with an axe to grind. This is the man's daughter, and that adds a level of credibility to the allegations that cannot be easily dismissed. Fatima would have had access to her father in ways that very few other people did, and she would have seen documents, signatures, and official papers throughout his time in office and even before he became president. The question now becomes what happens next. Will there be an official investigation into these allegations? Will the relevant authorities take this seriously and try to get to the bottom of who was forging these signatures and for what purpose? Or will this be swept under the rug like so many other scandals have been in the past? Nigerians deserve answers, not just because this involves a former president, but because it speaks to the integrity of the entire system of government and whether the safeguards that are supposed to be in place to prevent this kind of fraud are actually working. This revelation should also serve as a wake-up call about the need for better documentation, verification, and oversight of official government business. In this digital age, there should be multiple layers of authentication for any official document, especially those coming from the highest office in the land. Biometric verification, digital signatures with blockchain authentication, and multiple sign-offs from trusted officials could all help prevent the kind of forgery that Fatima is alleging took place. As this story continues to develop in the coming days and weeks, Nigerians will be watching closely to see how the authorities respond and whether anyone will be held accountable for what appears to be a serious breach of trust and a potential criminal act. The fact that these allegations are now in the public domain means they cannot simply be ignored, and there will be pressure from civil society organizations, the media, and ordinary citizens for a thorough and transparent investigation. What do you think about these shocking revelations? Do you believe there will be a genuine investigation, or do you think this will be handled quietly behind closed doors? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let us know what you make of this entire situation. This is exactly the kind of story that reminds us why staying informed and engaged with what is happening in our country is so important. So make sure you are subscribed to this channel so you can follow every development as this story unfolds.